Hey everybody, this is Stuart with Wine on the Dime. Today I'm going to be talking about sparkling wines in preparation for New Year. So get ready, we're going to be talking bubbly. Alright, so today we're going to be talking about sparkling wines. Notice I didn't say just champagne, I'm talking about sparkling wines because there's a lot to encompass here. So first off, when you're looking at what your New Year's party is going to be and you're planning that out, you're figuring out what you want to serve your guest, you do need to know there is a difference between champagne and some of the sparkling wines that you find. So I want to talk to you about that so you know the difference and you know what you're going to be serving to your guest and how to pick the right ones. So first off, champagne can only be called champagne if it's from the Champagne region of France. There's not one specific grape that they use. Sometimes they use Chardonnay. Sometimes they use another grape that's native to the region. But the main thing there is that champagne really is not champagne unless it's from France. From the Wine on the Dime perspective, there's a good chance you're not going to find a champagne within the $15 price point. It's expensive to make champagne. They're normally premium priced. The cheapest one I've ever been able to find was around the mid-30s in terms of price. So if you're looking for something to entertain your guest and you don't want to break the bank, then you'll probably be going with some of the other options. So staying with the old world options, there are a few others. Some of the other ones that you'll see from the old world regions are cavas. Those are from Spain. And some other familiar ones that you might see are Prosecco and Moscato. And those are from Italy. Now, flashing over to the New World, most of the wines that are made over here are just called sparkling wines. They don't really have any sort of unique descriptor to them. North America, South America, Australia, and Canada all are regions in which you will find some wines coming from them. So there's different things. Like I said, there's if you see it's a cava, you know it's from Spain. If it's a prosecco, it's from Italy. If it's champagne and it's from California, it's not champagne. It's not. It has to be from the Champagne region of France. So now you at least know that a little bit. So now when you're talking to your guest, if they don't know it, you can give them a little bit of knowledge and make yourself look like more of a badass. The next step is talking about sweetness. So there's different levels of sweetness within sparkling wines as well. So you'll have Brut nature, which is essentially no extra sugar added whenever they're making the sparkling wine, all the way to dulce, which is sweet, which means they've added a lot of sugar to the wine. Now, there's a few things in between. The most common ones that you'll see are extra brut, are brut, and sometimes sec and maybe semi-sec. And as you're going from extra brut, that's the drier one, all the way to semi-sec, which is the sweeter one. So now you're probably thinking, okay, cool. So now I know that they have some sweet, they have some dry. Why do they even add sugar to this to begin with? Well, that goes into secondary fermentation, and the reason why they do that is because that's how they get the bubbles in the wine. So the way that wine normally works, and there's kind of four main methods of doing it, is they all kind of start off with what's called a base wine. So they start with the base wine, and that's just kind of making the wine the normal way. Then what they do in three of the methods, which are the classical method, the tank method, and the transfer method, are they add some additional yeast and sugar to it, and then from there the process changes depending on which method you're using. There's a whole bunch of secondary work, but eventually what happens is that yeast consumes the sugar, converts it to carbon dioxide, and that's what gives you those nice bubbles when you open up. Now the fourth method is the carbonation method, and the carbonation method is essentially they get the base wine, they cram it into a bottle with a whole bunch of CO2, and that's it. There's really no science behind it. They just basically make wine into soda to some extent. So that kind of talks about why that's there, how it's made. But now, enough with this nerdy science stuff. Let's get on and actually try some. So the first one I'm going to try is the Tott's Premium Cuvée Brut Champagne Sparkling Wine from California. Oh! All right, first up, Tott's Brut Champagne from California. So going back to rule number one, it's not champagne if it's not from the Champagne region. So I've gone ahead and already poured a glass of this. Let's take a look. So you have some nice bubble, nice fermentation action going on there. Very pretty. Very nice. So looking at it, it's just a very light yellow color. Very light. like a diluted straw. If I was looking at it, from a smell standpoint, has sort of a smells a tiny bit citrusy, tiny bit appley. I can't really pick out one specific one. They kind of just blend together. Can't really tell what the citrus is, but let me go ahead and try it. It's semi-sweet. It's actually a little bit. No, I'd say it's right on the edge of brut. It's almost going into sec. It's not. It's actually not bad. It's nice and crisp. I'm getting a lot of apple on the back end. I think the citrus that I'm getting is peach. It's not bad. I'll be honest though, I have had a little bit better. I would give this one an on my rating scale. However, it's $6 a bottle. It's 11% ABV. It's really not. It's not bad. I mean, for most people, you'll get by. I probably am a little bit pickier because I've had some good cava and I've had a good prosecco. I mentioned it in my last New Year's blog post, so I recommend going over there. Really though, at this point, I'd probably say this is a great buy, especially if you're doing brunch and you want to serve mimosas. Add a little bit of orange juice to this, and it will be absolutely fantastic. Yeah, this one's not bad. So let's go ahead and try out the next one, which is the Blue Nun 24 Karat Gold Edition. And this one is a little bit weird, and you'll see why in a second. Oh! All right, so the next one up is Blue Nun 24 Karat Gold Edition. This one is a little bit different. It's from Germany, also 11% alcohol by volume, and I got it for $12. However, this is the interesting part of it. That is 24 karat gold at the bottom of it. Like snow globe it. It looks like a giant Corona with a lime in it right now. Oh no, that's not good. Okay. Anyway, so all of that is gold flecks. It's interesting. I picked it up because I figured this would be an interesting thing to have at a party. If you wanted to kind of show off, make people think you paid more for your sparkling wine than the average person, this might not be a bad thing to have. Now, I don't know if the wine's any good. Haven't tried it yet. But it's an interesting take in terms of trying to get people to buy it. I mean, this is, to be quite honest, the only reason I purchased this wine was because I saw these gold flecks, and I figured, what's better than having a little bit of a party with some gold and finding them in your poo a couple days later? So let's try the wine. Now, you can actually see, I don't know if you can see it or not in here, but the carbonation is tossing around. I actually have some wine, some gold flecks floating around in there. There's a ton of bubbles, so it's kind of hard to see. But it's interesting. So from the color standpoint, it's basically clear. I mean, very, very, even lighter yellow than the other one I just tried, the Tots. So, I mean, from a smelling standpoint, it's there's still a little bit of apple note, but there's no I can't really tell any citrus. It has almost like a little bit of like a grassy smell to it. It's very interesting. I don't ever recall having a sparkling wine that has that. But then again, I've never had a sparkling wine from Germany. I don't know if that's normal or not. Going in from doing a taste here. Pinky up. Ooh. So that's interesting. So very different flavor profile than the other one. The other one was more tart, a little bit acidic, a little bit brighter. This is more mellow. Still about the same level of sweetness. It just has a very interesting It finishes more cleanly. The apple's more up front with more of a clean finish versus the Tots, which is more peach up front with more of an apple finish. Kind of stays around into a short finish. This is almost pure, like, the moment you swallow it, the taste is gone. Yeah, it's gone. However, that's not bad also. I mean, this is one of those things where I would not use it with mimosas because then it would kill the gimmick. They won't be able to see the gold flecks floating around in their drink. It'll kind of kill that impression. So if you're going to go into mixing some sort of kind of fruit juice or using this in sort of a mixer, I would defer to the Tots. 1, it's half the price. 2, it will kill the experience of drinking gold. It's like the Goldschlager of the wine world, except it doesn't taste like shit. This is actually not bad. Like this was I would say that this is an because it just doesn't have this crazy kind of grab me aspect of it, but not because it's bad. It's just, other than the flex being pretty cool, I just feel like it's kind of missing that pop that I get with some of the other ones, but it's still not bad. Like, I would still buy this again, especially if I was going to have a party and I wanted to kind of classy it up a little bit. And speaking of that, I'll get to a product review in a minute. But yeah, I mean, overall, this is not bad. The other one's not bad, and I think both of these are something that I would purchase again. Just maybe using them in different ways instead of just sitting here at my desk drinking a glass of sparkling wine on my own and talking about it on YouTube. If I was entertaining, that would be the one I'd get right now. So this has been Stuart with Wine on the Dime. Oh, wait, before I go. Recently, as part of my New Year's theme, I decided that I was going to add a product review, and I put a poll on my website. I asked, would you rather have something like a wine flask that you could kind of smuggle into a party if you know that your host doesn't serve decent wine? You can bring something on your own, have it be discreet, foldable, very nice. Or would you rather go more of the hardcore party route and try a totally out of the blue option? And that was the option that won. So in my next product review wine video, which will be pretty much coming out almost as soon as this is done, I am going to be reviewing the one and only Chambong. You can't see that because my face is in the way. You can't see that yet. It's just not. There we go. Chambong. That's what we're going to do. So stay tuned. That video will pretty much come out almost immediately after this one gets published on YouTube. So this has been Stuart with Wine on the Dime, signing off. Thanks.